I'm also recording this session, guys, just for your reference. So, guys, basically, before I get into the Jira tool, I would definitely want to introduce what is this role of Jira into the business analyst role, okay, or business analyst job, right? So, basically, guys, if you talk about SDLC, I'm sure you all know that SDLC is called as Software Development Lifecycle, right? So, Software Development Lifecycle is nothing but set of steps, okay, set of steps you a project would use in order to be successful. So basically SDLC is a firm set of rules and regulations which a project must use in order to survive or become successful. And so we have multiple methodologies of models of SDLC, and one of the very popular and a very most important methodology of SDLC, or a model of SDLC, is called as Agile, right, guys? And what do you mean by Agile? Agile talks about flexibility, agility, and definitely a lot of faster response to the deliverables, right? Under Agile, we have multiple frameworks. Please understand, under Agile, we have multiple frameworks. And what are these frameworks? One of the framework is Scrum. Another framework is called as Kanban. The next framework is called as extreme programming. It's called as XP, or extreme programming. So guys, before I get into all of this, please understand what you mean by a framework. Framework is nothing but a set of procedures that you have to do. Okay, set of procedures that you need to perform in order to get a end result. It can be one project, it could be one small task, or no matter what. But a framework is nothing but set of rigid procedures. Please understand, this framework will not change from project to project. No matter how many projects you have, this framework will remain the same. Customizations will happen, but the framework will remain the same, guys. So having said that, so we have multiple frameworks under Agile, and the one of the most popular framework currently used in industry is Scrum, guys. Clear? So now let's talk about the Scrum. Do you have any questions so far, guys? Anyone? All good?
No, ma'am.
Yes. What is framework?
Framework is set of procedures that you have to use in order to succeed in a project. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So guys, now what is Scrum? So basically, Scrum is nothing but a management framework. Basically, here in Scrum, we concentrate more towards completing the project by self-organized teams and who work for a common goal. If you all remember, we have Agile Manifesto. Agile Manifesto, I will talk about that later, Arvind. Agile Manifesto also talks about the same story, right? So here we're talking about Scrum. Scrum is nothing but a management framework which is combined together to make sure you work for a common goal, where you will have a self-organized team and your team will all work for this thing. Okay, so let's talk about what are the important terminologies that you must understand before you get forward, guys. Okay, the first one is called as a project. Yes, this is Jira workshop. Yes. So guys, the first one here is called as a project. Now, what do you mean by a project? Okay, please understand, any work that you do or any set of that you have a common goal, that common goal is called as a project. So all of the Scrum team is working towards the project. Now, why am I talking about this? Please remember, under Scrum, okay, under Scrum, you will not work in one project only, unlike waterfall. Here, you will work in multiple projects. So that's very, very important here. Okay. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. The first one, as I told you, is called as a Scrum. project. Next, so you as a business analyst will have to be working with the Scrum project, guys. Next, once you understand what is the project, basically what does a project have, guys? What does a project have?
A common goal.
That is your end value features, no?
Okay.
Let's assume if my project is about hospital management system, I want to manage the hospital using one global system or one centralized system, right? So that is called as a project. And what does this management system has? Features. Okay, and you also have lot of front end and back end. Right? So what, no matter what, every application will have features, and as a project, you need to fulfill those features that is asked by it. Okay, guys. So in Scrum, you call these features are more like epics. Okay, that's the word here, guys. Now, what do you mean by an epic? Epic is the big chunk of work that you use or that you work on. Okay, so here epic talks about big, like for example, in this scenario, I can say one of the epics can be registration. Okay, one of the epic can be probably login. One of the epic can be payment. One of the epic can be search for doctor or search for anything for that matter. Okay, so guys, please, if you're not talking, please mute yourself. Okay, guys, so we would use these under registration. Again, you have a doctor's registration, you have a patient's registration, you have a admin registration, you have a staff registration, right? So no matter what, these basic, again, subdivision of activities is called as a this thing as epics, guys. Okay, so after the project is completed, the first division that you do here is called as an epic. So generally in an organization, you have something called as product grooming sessions, or it is also called as product refinement session. Okay, so basically this is the session where you will, all the team members, not the Scrum team, but the big heads of the company will sit together and they will identify what is the product vision. What comes out from product vision? A product vision document. Okay, and they also will differentiate and identify the epics, and they'll identify the features. Okay, and then they will think about which feature should they work on, which feature should they delay for later, and stuff like that. So once the epics are identified, okay guys, right? So the whole team, now the Scrum team, guys, do you all know what do you mean by a Scrum team? Generally, Scrum team is a very small team, around 8 to 10 people. Okay, a Scrum team originally consists of the product owner, Scrum master, okay, and developers. Now, where is a business analyst? Where are testers and other ones? Guys, please understand the other people are called as shared resources. As I mentioned earlier, one person will be working with multiple projects. So a Scrum team generally consists of developers, Scrum masters, and also testers sometimes. That all depends on the project to project though. Not every project might have a tester there, but some projects do have testers, but some does not have testers. But again, no matter what, please remember, it's a very small team, unlike waterfall. Okay, so the whole Scrum team will sit together once the product vision document is prepared or once the features are identified. In other words, are called as epics. The Scrum team will sit and start working on the division of the features. Okay, now what do you mean by division of the features, guys? So now I can't work on registration as one big epic, right? I have to again break it down. So now all the team will sit again and think about, okay, how can I divide this epic registration into? They'll identify the stakeholders, they'll identify who are the end users, and so forth, guys. So please understand, one very important and very, very important concept that I want to talk about is called as a user story. Now, what is a user story? A user story is nothing but a description of a task or an activity is called a user story. So what does an epic consist of? Epic consists of user stories. So what all I have mentioned here, like customer registrations, a patient registration, doctor registration, these are all called as user stories that come under the epic. Clear so far, guys? Any questions here?
No.
Now, once you have identified the epics, where do you place them? You will place them in a product backlog. So please understand, we have another word here called as a product backlog. Product backlog is nothing but a huge list or a big list of user stories. So some companies create epics, but some company find it very optional, guys. They directly create the user stories. Okay, so an epic is a very optional element. However, a user story is compulsory. Every Scrum project is nothing but the completion or the consolidation of the user stories only, guys. Okay, now once you've understood what you mean by a user story, so now let's understand what comes under a user story. I'm sure you all know this, but I'm just giving you a brief about it. A user story consists of the user ID, user story ID. Okay, you should definitely have a unique ID, a user story name to it, a user story description. Okay, it should have the tasks, it should have the priority, it should have the acceptance criteria, it should have the business value point, it should have a complexity points as well. So this is what would include in a user story, guys. I'm sure you all are aware of this, but if you have any doubts, you can stop me. But this is something that you have learned in the workshop as well. So I'm not going in detail here. Okay, guys. So quickly, I would want to get into the tool here. Okay. So guys,
Ma'am,
yeah,
hello.
yes,
Ma'am,
yes.
the user stories, like what you have defined, these are these should be mandatory or else optional.
No, all of them are mandatory. Optional ones are something that some companies write a DOR, definition of ready and definition of done. They could be optional, but what I have mentioned here are compulsory. They must be there in order to understand.
Oh.
Madam, one doubt for me.
Yes, please.
The Scrum team will work on the divisions of features. Correct,
So can
madam?
it be a little louder? Can't understand.
The Scrum team will work on divisions of features, right?
Divisions of features, user stories.
User stories. So this
Yes.
epic consists of an user stories.
Yes.
So what is this product backlog, madam?
Product backlog is a list, like how you have RTM in waterfall, right? Where
Yes,
you place all the list of features, right? Same
Okay.
story here. Instead of RTM, you have product backlog.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
thanks.
Anant has asked me, what do you mean by business value? So basically, what the business value point is, the which user story is the most important one according to the client. For client, which is the most important user story, they give certain points to it. Like let's assume a user story has 1,000, which means it's the most important user story, and they have to work on the development right today. So that calculation, that point is called as business value point. And what is complexity points? Complexity points are nothing but the effort of the developer. How long will this user story be consumed by the developer? So what is the time duration that the developer would use to work on this user story? So the developers will also calculate the hours and give the numbers there. So that is called as a complexity point. Okay, Anand?
Ma'am, this business value is given by the client, or do we do it internally, like according to
Product
us?
owner will give you.
Okay.
The product owner will give you these points.
I have one doubt. How can you assign tasks? Are these the number of tasks involved in this particular activity or
Which one is talking about the tasks?
tasks
Okay,
under
so
the user story description? Tasks.
Guys, please mute yourself, guys. Someone, I see there's a dog barking. Yeah, please, thank you. So here, basically, what do you mean by a task is nothing but, see, when you're talking about a user story, I'll give you a very simple example. Let's assume I have this user story where I want to log in. Okay, the customer has to log in so that he can view his reports. Okay, for him to log in, don't you agree there is a registration that is required, right? And if he has to log in, he should have a username and a password. Username and a password. So what do you mean by this task is, for me to log in, say there are certain dependencies that I already have, right? So now how many tasks should I complete in order to finish this user story? I would say 2 or 3. Okay, so that is called as task. If your user story is again big enough that you have to have certain tasks to finish, and then only your user story would be completed, that is when you give the number.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Actually, the priority and business value both are similar, right?
Priority and
Business value.
business value, see, there could be 3 business values, 1,000, right?
Okay.
But will you work on 3 together?
No.
No, probably they will prioritize again, which is more important, which is less important.
Oh, yeah.
That is a priority. But similarly,
Yeah.
if you really ask me,
Actually, on business value, we identify which is the most priority for the stakeholder. So based on that only, that product backlog we will prepare and we will work on it based on the priority, right? So it will come under priority, right?
that is what I'm saying, right? If your business value, just give me a minute, 1 minute.
Okay.
Hello? Yes. So basically what happens here is the business value, you can have three business value points here. Like for example, you can have 1,000, 1,000 and 1,000, and there are 3 important, but which one again will you prioritize? Which one will you do first? If I have to put it in the sprint 1, which user story must I put?
Okay.
That could be one of the priority here. That's it. It is only that you're prioritizing among the important ones. You're just telling the developer, first work on this right today. That's the next one you can work tomorrow. Like that, you prioritize. That's it.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Okay,
can you explain once the business value and the CP?
Business value is nothing but your the user story that is important according to the client. Like for example, I have Amazon. Okay, I wanted to introduce a new feature called as offers and discounts. Okay, for my festival. Right now, in this scenario, if I have to say that the customer wants to log in so that he can view the offers on sweets, is that user story priority or not?
Yes.
So what BV value will you give it to that user story? The highest, right? Let's assume 500. Right?
Okay.
So any user story that is important in the eyes of the client, that is the business value point. So the business value for that user story is the highest, wherein I will give the highest point to that user story. What is a complexity point? Complexity point is where the developers are using the time to develop their user story. How many hours? Certain user stories might take 15 hours. Certain user stories might take 2 hours. So developers are saying that this is the effort I would use to finish this user story. That point is called as complexity point. And to calculate them, we do have certain techniques that the team has to follow. Accordingly, they will identify and create these points. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, guys. Now, once you have identified the user stories, so what will you do? You will place all these user stories in the product backlog. You will place the user stories. Please understand, no matter what priority, no matter what is a business value, no matter what is a complexity point, all the user stories must sit in the product backlog. So from the product backlog only, the team will sit and decide and create sprints. Now, what do you mean by a sprint? Sprint is a time-boxed event wherein you will do or wherein you will finish certain user stories in that time-bound event, in that time. That time-boxed event in which you work on the user stories is called as a sprint. Clear, guys? Now, what happened earlier was, what all we were talking right now was done manually. There was no tool for them to use to do all this discussion, all these decisions. Okay. However, now they have got a new tool. Okay. They have a new tool which is called as Jira. Okay, so this Jira is useful to do all of the agile scrum management work in this tool. So earlier Jira was only small part of the project, but now Jira is a complete involvement in the project, is handled by Jira from A to Z. Jira can handle the work, guys. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about Jira. So basically Jira is developed by an Australian company that's called as Atlassian. It is developed by an Australian company that is called as Atlassian. Okay, and you will see it now also. Okay, guys, basically this project or this software is used for bug tracking. Okay, it's used for issue tracking. I'll tell you what is an issue a little later, and also project management. Earlier, Jira was only used for bug tracking. What do you mean by a bug ticket? It was only used to bug track the tickets or issues that came up in the project. Now, what do you mean by tracking? You will only save those bugs in the Jira tool, nothing else. So from here, you will track the progress of those tickets. So is it going good or going bad? The tracking of the bugs is only handled by Jira. But now Jira is used for multiple other functions and other areas. It is a lot more easier now with Jira, guys. Clear so far? So now let's get into what do you mean by how do you handle Jira? Okay. So guys, in order to work on Jira, please remember you do not need any dependency here. You only have to go and install it on your own from your Google Chrome. Okay. Arpita just explained you, right? Arpit, product backlog is nothing but a big list of user stories. Arpit, please pay attention here. I've already explained it twice. So please make sure you remember what I'm saying. Okay. Now, so going back to the Jira tool, guys. So as I mentioned earlier, please go to your Google. Let me do that as well for you. Okay, so guys, you just have to use the word Jira download. Okay, it's Jira software download. Okay, see this, guys. You will see atlassian.com. It is Jira software for all teams. Try Jira for free. So basically, Jira is still handled by Atlassian, which is an Australian company. Okay, so I will just select this. Okay, so guys, you have an option here. What are the plans and what are the pricing and all? So basically for 10 users, it's always free. So if you have a small team, Okay, if you have a very small team, you can use Jira for free, guys. You don't have to worry about if it's a big team or it's a whole organization is using Jira, then probably you might have to purchase this this plan. Clear? So guys, here you just have to go here, get it free. Okay, so you need to select two things. Okay, you have two products under Jira again. So that is called as Confluence, and it is also called as Jira Service Management. Now, what do you mean by Confluence? So please understand, Confluence talks about the how. So basically, Confluence talks about the whole place where the complete team will meet for any kind of decisions. This is the place where they will create, they will capture, and they'll also collaborate for ideas. Okay, guys. So here they will make sure it is mostly a documentation tool, guys. Simple words. Confluence is a documentation tool, wherein Jira is a project management tool. Okay, with Confluence, you can actually work on the documents and make sure your content is saved somewhere. Your product requirements, your release notes, all your documentation is sitting in Confluence, wherein in Jira, the project management work will happen. So now we don't have a document, right? So we'll directly get into Jira software service management. Clear, guys? Any questions?
Ma'am, Confluence is also a part of, in Jira also we keep a kind of track of everything, whatever is going on into the project.
For that you use Jira Service Management. To track what is going on in the project, you use Jira Service Management. In order to document your work, in order to have some documentation, you would use Confluence.
And ma'am, the things which are getting updated, which we update in the project, like what the a whole of a team, what each individual is doing, when that is updated, that comes under Confluence or that comes under Jira Service
Jira only,
Management?
right?
Yes.
That is Jira only, right?
Yes,
Any
yes.
documentation. Okay. Any documentation is handled in Confluence. And any management work is handled by Jira. Any change management or anything that is handled in Jira Service Management. Clear?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll select this, guys, and I will say next. Yes, Rohit. In your organization, if you have a project, so where in Agile, documentation is not zero. We have less documentation. So definitely you have to use Confluence and Jira. If you have documents that you want to save and protect, please use Confluence. And if you want the Jira to work on, because some companies, they want to protect their documents in a organization database. They don't want to use a third party to protect their document, because what if it gets leaked or hacked? So companies generally don't use Confluence because they don't want to give your documents to third party, which is Jira, Atlassian, right? So, but if you want to use it, you can use it, no problem. Now, going back. So guys, here you will get started. You will continue with Google, or you can sign up with an email. So you can take anything, guys. I already have a work email that is saved here. So I am using this, guys. So I have a work email that I am using it. Okay, clear so far, guys? Any questions, any doubts? So please remember, you can happily use your personal email ID and start working on the Jira. Okay, do not have to have any dependency on the admin, guys. Okay, now here, if you look at it, are you able to see my screen? Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you have to just put your site here, guys. You can say ABC123. No problem. It's just your site. It is your work. That's it. So you can just put anything. No problem at all. Clear, guys? I will say 001234 maybe. Yeah, I have this. So I will agree to it. Now here your site is starting, so it will upload here, guys. So just have to wait, please. This is where your site will get uploaded. So let's wait for 2 seconds.
Ma'am, we'll get the recording of this session.
Yes, I'm recording the session.
Okay. So
I'm sorry, your voice is breaking.
it will be available in the library of the portal.
Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, any specific, I mean, name? I am finding this fruitful, very nicely you are explaining bit by bit. So, is there any particular name for this for your?
No, just say Jira. You have a date though. Today's 13th, right? So you have
Yes.
say 13th and you will be able to get it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, if you look at it, it is uploaded, right? Now you can set up the Jira software. Please understand this is not compulsory, it's optional, guys. If you want to set up, you can, or else you can just skip it. Just for our understanding, let's set up. I'm experienced with Jira software. We have a flexible schedule. Okay, and I am skipping. Again, guys, you can skip it because you're practicing right now. Next, very important. Guys, please see here. I have to create a project. Now, please pay attention, all of you. Look at it. What template is being used here?
Kanban.
Kanban. And what are we talking right now in the class? Scrum. So, which means I'm using the wrong template. You agree? Right? Please remember,
Yes.
here the Jira is automatically recommending you to take Kanban, but I'm using Scrum. So please open more templates and select Scrum. Okay, guys? And before you create a project, make sure you check which template you are using. Only then you have to create a project. Or else again, you have to go back, delete the project again, you have to create it back. Clear so far?
Yes.
Okay, done. So now I will just say hospital management system. Okay, I'll just take this, it is already there, and I will say create. Okay, so if you look at the image here, this is how your project screen will look like. So your project name will be displayed in the left hand corner. This is what they're giving you an image.
Ma'am, where do you click this create project from?
Create, didn't understand.
Where can I find create project icon?
You just have to directly, once you skip and once you start off, you directly come here only.
Okay.
Okay.
Means
So,
when you give that Atlassian site name and all that, the next page is this one.
no, you have to create a login, no? I have logged in. Once I downloaded, I logged in.
Can you repeat that again?
Sure. See, basically what I have done is, I just had to go and put my login. Okay.
Yeah.
And once I put my login, it is uploading. The Jira page is uploading. Once the Jira page is uploaded, what I just saw, the black, that line, right? You will come here. So
Okay,
I will say skip.
Okay.
And I will change the template to Scrum. Then I will put one project name.
Okay, ma'am.
And I will create.
So whenever we will be working on Jira, we'll have to always use Scrum.
Yes, because we are using a Scrum project, right? But if your company uses Kanban, you can use Kanban. But for now, we are learning Scrum.
Okay.
Okay. So guys, again, these are certain tools that is Atlassian is advertising to us. Again, I will skip also. Okay. Now, guys, please remember, you are currently in the project page of hospital management system. Okay. So currently, you are in the product page of the hospital management system. Okay, guys. Now, please understand this is where you are able to see the hospital management system. Now, let's understand what you have here. Point number one. This one talks about your work. So what work is assigned to you? How many projects are assigned to you?
Ma'am, what the project name that we have to select here?
Hospital. I just took hospital. You can take anything.
Like it's coming team managed or company managed.
Okay, then it's team managed.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
When I'm selecting this Scrum template, it's not getting selected, ma'am. It's asking for you'll need to create a new project if you decide to switch project types later.
It should not though, but again, yeah, it's okay, right? Create a new, anyways, you're creating a new project only, right?
That's what. But here I don't have any option to select. They're saying select a team management project or select a company management project.
Team management.
Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you.
Okay. So guys, here
it's coming like select some tools. How many tools you have to select?
No, nothing. Skip.
Okay.
Hi, ma'am. I have a question.
Mm.
So basically, I just want to know whose responsibility to run this Jira, a project manager, maybe a Scrum Master or a BA?
Generally here, Jira is more like, how should I say this? See, Jira is your platform to work. When you log in into your computer, what is that something that you do? You will first connect to what to important in your company, you'll connect to important areas, right? Automatic login. Like for example, when I go work in my company, first thing I do is I open my internal team meetings, or probably I open my calendar, or probably I open a WhatsApp group that we have in a company. So like the Jira, if you're working in a Scrum team, a Scrum project, you will have to open Jira. So whose responsibility is it to run Jira? It is the team's responsibility. Because please understand, Scrum is a teamwork. Unlike a waterfall, you can't say that this is not my role, this is my role. This is not possible in Scrum.
And can I say that business analyst working as a product owner in Agile methodology?
Business analyst is a product owner.
Business analyst work as a product owner?
Can be. It depends.
Or mostly?
No, mostly Scrum Master.
And who's the replica of project manager?
I'm sorry, there's no project manager here, no? There's Scrum Master.
Exactly.
We don't have a project manager.
Like in a waterfall, a project manager in a Scrum team, we are taking as a Scrum Master.
Yes.
And if for a business analyst, we are taking as a name as a
business analyst only. No, business analyst only.
Okay.
BA is here, BA, there also BA.
Okay. Because in a theory classes, Venkat sir told us that mostly business analysts work as a product owner in a Scrum team.
Basically, Scrum team, if you're talking about a Scrum team, please understand, you don't have these kind of rigid roles. That is what I'm telling you. As in a Scrum team, we have very flexible roles. Yes, I won't disagree that project manager, business analyst can be a Scrum Master and also can be a product owner.
Okay.
But no matter what, when you're coming back to Jira, you will use Jira irrespective of where you are. Developer can use Jira, BA can use Jira, Scrum Master can use Jira, product owner can also
I totally agree. That is a daily part of job. That is a basic platform that we are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So guys, basically, if you talk about it, this is the work that is assigned to me, the recent boards and the queues. And what projects are you currently working on? Okay. Then you have filters, then you have dashboards. I'm sure you know what's a dashboard, people and applications. Okay, guys. Left-hand corner, you have a roadmap. So basically, what is this roadmap? Roadmap is nothing but your Gantt chart in your waterfall, guys. It is nothing but your what you have to do over the weeks. If your project is for 1 year, you will know the status of your project on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, and also quarterly basis. So roadmap is nothing but what is the progress of the project with your sprints and user stories. Clear? Next, backlog.
Ma'am, just 1 second. So roadmap, you said it's like a Gantt chart, no? Can we create the chat actually here?
I'm sorry?
Can we create the chat actually here?
When you're creating the sprints, automatically it's updated, no?
When we are creating the sprint, okay.
When you're directly creating sprints and all, automatically it is updated here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Will you be showing us how to create sprint and all in Jira?
Yes, now I'll show you.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So now, guys, going back to the backlog. So what you see here is nothing but your backlog, guys. So basically, please understand, in Jira, I'm again repeating, in Jira, everything is called as an issue. A user story is also an issue. A bug is also an issue. So what are we tracking here? Issue tracking is nothing but user story tracking. Okay, so what are we creating here? User stories in Jira are called as issues. User stories in Jira are called as issues. So I will first create a backlog, then only I will be able to create a sprint. Please understand, if you see there's a backlog here, first let's create issue. See, hospital management system, right? As a patient, I want to register to the application, okay, so that I can log in. As a doctor, I want to register so that I can treat the patients. As a admin, I want to register so that I can probably log in again. Done. So guys, I have, as a patient, I want to log in so that I can book an appointment. Okay guys, again I can say, as a patient, I want to log in so that I can make payment. So again, you can have n number of user stories like that. So you will have user stories, many types of user stories, guys. Okay, I'm just writing it here just for our understanding. Clear, guys? Any questions, any doubts? I am constructing what? Backlog. I am doing a product backlog. Clear so far?
Ma'am, how do we differentiate then between a user story if everything seems to be an issue in this particular
everything is that's what, right? You have to work on this. Now have written it like that. No, now you know it. Okay, this is what is the user story about.
Okay.
Okay, you're already saying that it is already created. So accordingly, we will distribute into sprints.
Ma'am, just one thing. You're writing in the box, no, and then clicking on what?
I'm just entering.
Okay.
Selecting on enter, clicking enter. Okay, guys, I have created the user stories in the backlog. Please understand, what you see here is a product backlog. And if you notice, none of the user stories are connected to an epic, if you remember, right? So what can I do? I can also construct or create epics. Now in Jira, you have to activate that panel, guys, epic panel. So I will just activate the epic panel. Okay, guys. So now I just want to connect these user stories to the epics. I'm again telling you, in organizations, they are very optional in nature. They are very optional in nature. Not every project will have a epic. Clear? So now, just for our understanding, I will create a registration is one epic. Okay. I will say login is one epic. I would say payment is one epic. Clear so far, guys? I have created 3 epics. I can also have the user stories without epic is also fine, guys. No problem at all. Clear? Now, once you have created these user stories, now what am I supposed to do? I am supposed to drag these user stories into sprints. Now, what is a sprint? Sprint is a combination of user stories. You are combining certain user stories together, and that is called as a sprint. And you also give a time frame to it. Now, let's assume I want to drag and drop. Just drag and drop, guys.
Where you got the option of sprint? I'm not getting this.
Yeah, it's already there. It's already there here.
There in backlog?
Yes. I'm not creating, it's already there. Okay. So guys, now I have created my sprint 1. So from the backlog, I have pulled certain user stories and assets from sprint 1. Clear so far, guys? Now, once you are saying that you have created a sprint, please remember one very important note. Without 3 user stories, one cannot create a sprint. A sprint must have 3 user stories, compulsory, guys. A sprint must have 3 user stories. Without 3 user stories, you cannot say that is a sprint. Now I will start the sprint. Now you can rename the sprint. I will say registration. Okay, I will give a duration here. If you go to the drop down, you can have 1 week sprint, you can have 2 week sprint, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and also custom. Now, if I say 1 week sprint, the end date is closed. If you notice, the end date is been grayed out, which means you cannot change the end date. Okay, if you're talking about custom, okay, which means you need to manually enter the start date and the time, end date and the time. Clear, guys?
Ma'am, hello, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Is there any specific logic for 3 user stories to create for the sprint?
It is the standard for any company. You need to have 3 user stories. Without that, you cannot start a sprint.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, this start date and end date would be assigned to the developer.
To the sprint, you're assigning it to the sprint, not to the developer.
I mean, who will
because
assign?
In this sprint, anybody can, all will work, no?
Okay.
Ma'am, where will get the backlog option?
I'm sorry?
From where we'll get the backlog option?
Where will I get the backlog option in the sense?
Means previous page. I was just joined late.
You just have to go here and say back. Or you can look at the recording.
As a business analyst, what is my role in joining the sprint? Will I be assigning it to the or what will I be doing?
So basically, as a business analyst, you'll have to identify the requirements, prepare the requirements, elicitation techniques. How will you get these features? Who will pull out these features? How will you identify the epics? So how will you identify the user stories? So it is everything is same. You will have to. Yeah.
Who will be the person who will be assigning the sprint?
You're not assigning the sprint, sir. You're just creating the sprint. You assign the user story, not the sprint.
Yeah, ma'am. User story. Who to whom we will be assigning?
We will do that a little later. Just give me 2 minutes. Let me finish the sprint and then I'll explain you. Okay. Now,
yeah.
So guys, basically what did I do? I have created one sprint. So once you created a sprint, it should automatically pull you to the storyboard. Guys, please understand what you see here is called as a storyboard. Okay, this is a storyboard which does consist of user stories. So I have 3 user stories here. Okay, now what happens here? I have HMS is Hospital Management System 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you notice, all of the user stories are in to do option. Everyone are
Ma'am,
in to do.
I have a query. This is a Pratik side. My understanding was that each each user story are divided into tasks, and the task is completed supposed to complete in sprint. Am I
user
correct on
stories
this part?
No, user stories will be completed in the sprint.
Sorry?
You will work on the user stories, Pratik.
Not the task.
Tasks are optional. Tasks, compulsory tasks should not be, it's not like task must be there in a user story. You will work on a user story, not on the task in the sprint. And user story is a task. What is the definition of a user story, Pratik? It is nothing but a small task that you will work on, right?
Yeah.
Then user story is a task.
Okay. And the sprint is a combination of number of user stories.
Is a time box event where you do the user stories. Yes.
User
You
stories.
work on the user stories.
Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am, what would be the sprint goal?
Sprint goal is, again, what is your goal? You want to make sure the registration feature is completed.
Okay.
Or you want the registration, probably you just want to make sure the registration is feature is update on this date or is working on this date. That could be the, what is the goal of your sprint?
Okay.
What do you want to achieve end of this 2 months, 2 weeks or 3 weeks? That is your goal.
Okay.
Okay, clear? Okay, guys.
Ma'am, I can assign how many number of backlog items I need for that.
You will have only one backlog.
Yeah, one backlog, but out of those items that we have prepared in the product backlog, let's say there are 5 items, I to the sprint, right?
Minimum you should have 3 user stories.
Yeah, okay.
Minimum 3. You can have maximum 500 also, but minimum should be 3.
Okay. Is there a drag so I can include in the sprint?
I'm sorry?
From product backlog, from the list of items, is there any drag include in the sprint?
I'm sorry, your voice is breaking.
No, is there any drag and drop button or something?
I have just dragged and dropped on Ramya. That is what I have done, no? I just dragged and dropped it only. If you notice, this is what I have done.
Okay, fine. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So guys, here I am now in a storyboard, which is a user storyboard, where all the user stories are in to-do option, guys. Okay. Now what will I do? I will, if you notice, I did not assign it to anybody, neither I did not write anything in the user story. So now what can I do? I will double click on it and I will open the user story. So now I'll add the content to this user story. Now, point number 1, I will add epic. Okay, registration is my epic because it is register. Now, if I want to attach any extra documents to this user story, I should be able to attach it here. If I want to add any child issue, is there any dependency, okay, or is there any child user story to it, I will also add that user story to it. If I have any other issue or any other bug or anything else, even that I will add it here. So any extra information that I might need to help to fulfill my user story, I will add it here. Clear, guys? Now, I will add the description to the user story. Now, what will I do? I will add the acceptance criteria. Now, I will put the acceptance criteria. Now, what will I say? I will say, so what is acceptance criteria here? I will mention this. I will say that probably open the home page. Click on the registration button. Okay, probably enter the compulsory information in the fields.
Ma'am, the developer will create this acceptance criteria or be our Scrum Master? Who will create this?
This acceptance criteria generally will be created by the product owner, and because he is the one who will know, right, how to do what.
Okay.
In the fields provided and so on and so forth, fields, and then he will say click on submit button.
So boards is used to write acceptance criteria, no?
No, the board is nothing but list of user stories in a sprint. So if you want to add more data to your user story, then you will do this.
Okay.
Then guys, if you want to change anything, or you can change just to make it more beautiful, you will do it. Now, coming to the right hand corner, please understand, here I will assign it. So guys, please understand who will assign the user story. Please remember, here assigning the user story can be done by anybody. Even a product owner can assign, even a Scrum Master can assign, a BA can assign, developer can assign, tester can assign, because user story is not handled by one person alone. So if I start, see, a product owner wrote the user story, whom will he assign it to? He will assign it to the developer. When the development work is over, whom will you reassign it to? Tester. You agree? So please understand, depending on the progress of the user story, the user story would be assigned to the concerned team member. Okay. So once the developer has done his job, once the developer has completed his work, he will assign it to the tester for testing. Once the tester has done the testing, he identified the bug. Again, he will assign it back to the developer. Now, developer felt, no, the user story is incomplete. Probably the product owner must add more data to it. He will assign it back to the product owner. Okay, so that is how things will work in a user story assigning. Clear, guys? Any questions?
Ma'am, yes. So what I understand is that in this entire process, the assignment is between the product owner, developer, and tester. So BA doesn't have a role in this, any role in this thing?
How should I answer this question? Okay, so basically, please understand, is BA different from product owner, Scrum Master?
Sometimes BA has to behave like a product owner or a Scrum Master.
Which means then product owner is also a BA only, no?
Okay.
What I'm trying to tell you is, please remember that please don't have this perception of saying that BA, that is not waterfall anymore. Come out of that mindset that you have a rigid role like waterfall. This is your Scrum. In Scrum, all of do everything. A developer can be, a developer can take multiple roles. A BA can take multiple roles. Product owner can also become a tester also.
Ma'am, but the BA cannot be a developer or a tester, na?
Why not? Why can't the BA can do manual testing? No, Major. Why not?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, development I can't do though, but can't I be a tester? Can't I do manual testing?
Yeah.
Then.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay, guys. Yes.
Initially, I'll set a time period for 1 week, right? Like whoever creates. So
yes.
So my doubt is that suppose the starting person whoever created is set a time period for 1 week. So this entire process, what you have said, that back and forth goes from developers and testers and again back to project owner. It has to be in 1 week or each
yes, 1 week only. Everything should, whatever we are putting here must be completed in the sprint time.
Okay, the complete task has to be completed.
Yes, everything must be completed. You have to finish your user stories in the sprint time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Example, if because of some reason, if we are not able to complete that entire time, then what will happen?
There will be a lot big meetings asking why were you not able to complete your sprint? What went right? What went wrong? There would be meetings to check.
Okay.
The client will come and question you, team, why were you not able to do this? What went wrong? That kind of questions will be asked. General teams will not take that risk. They will do this.
Okay.
Ma'am, Jira is also auditable.
Jira is also
auditable.
Yes, you can also audit. Yes, because we create reports with Jira, no? So the report can be audited.
Thank you.
Now,
ma'am, I'm Pratik this side. I'm a little confused. I'm at the Agile Live project, the second project, and in the document they have there are bifurcation when it comes to sprint backlog and product backlog. And in sprint backlog, in the template they have shared,
Pratik, we will talk about into task. We will talk about that live project in the doubt clarification session, Pratik, because we are talking about Jira here.
I have the doubt that we related to the same, because in the same project they have asked to draw down the that is a product burn down chart and the sprint burn down chart using Jira tool.
You will do it. You'll first let me finish this session. You'll know how to prepare the report. Once we do it, then you'll understand. Okay. Now, coming back to this session again, guys. So here I have identified the acceptance criteria. So now we will assign it. So it can be assigned to the concerned me, or it can also be assigned to any team member, guys. Please understand that. So here you can assign it to the concerned person or with anybody else. Okay, now I have a sprint here. I am putting in the registration. That is my name of the sprint 1. I am putting a story point estimate. Please understand this story point estimate is also called as complexity point. Okay, story point estimate is also called as complexity point. I'm just putting a number there saying 5. Okay, and what you see here under development is the developer's role, where you're creating certain tasks there which will not worry about. Who is a reporter? I am the reporter, and we have the automation. So I am done. So this is how you will create the user story. Okay, some companies also have a definition of ready and definition of done. What is definition of ready? Very simple. So guys, if this user story is ready to be sent to the, like for example, developer has done the development. Okay, now he wants to send it to the tester. The developer will check. Okay, what is the checklist where I'll identify what has to be, what areas are ready that I can give it. Now, what do you mean by DOD? Definition of done is when the user story can be sent to the client. When you're sending the user story to the client, you again have a checklist that clearly says what criteria must be met in order to say that a user story has been completed, wherein the client can view it. So that conditions of definition of is called as DOR and DOD. Clear is? So
So
this
is
is
the acceptance criteria, right?
no, acceptance criteria is nothing but the walkthrough of your complete user story. Like look at it, acceptance criteria is open the home page. Next what? Next what the steps to complete this is an acceptance criteria, no? So now let's assume this button is not working. Is definition of ready complete? Is checklist done?
No.
The answer is
No.
no, which means I cannot take it forward. So please remember this, guys. No, I have completed this, guys. So I have a user story ready right now. Okay, like that, the team will work on these user stories. Remember this. Now, once the user stories have been completed, as the work is progressing, the concerned team will manually drag and drop it to the different status. So you will make the changes in the storyboard, guys. So now this user story is in progress. This one issue is in progress. This one issue is in progress. This one issue is in progress. Again, it will be done. So when can I say it is done, or when can I say it is completed? I will have to figure it out. That all depends on the team. Like we have different meetings, right? Sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective, all these discussions of the user stories will happen now. Clear so far, guys?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
User story, you may I want to register so that this is enough for the user story. I have to write more elaborate into that.
Well, I've just written, no?
Sorry?
We have written, no, one user story in an elaborative manner. I have added acceptance criteria. I have assigned it to the concerned person. I've added the story point.
Okay, the acceptance. Okay, fine. Into that only we will write. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Ma'am, can we assign business value in the board?
Business value will be assigned in the product backlog, not here.
Oh, okay.
Not here.
Do we have a specific field or column for that?
No, we don't have in Jira.
Okay.
Ma'am, one thing.
Hmm.
Like inserting a comment to every user story is mandatory.
I'm sorry, Raghav.
Comment.
Okay, comment. That comment is nothing but, like, let's assume this user story can be viewed by everybody in the team, right? So if you are a business analyst, for example, and you want to add a comment, to that user story, you can add it there.
Like it's mandatory while doing in a progress.
No, it will happen. So because this user story is not one day's job, and we are talking about 2 to 3 weeks, definitely you want to add more information to it, right?
Okay, to make it more impressive.
More probably you want to see the progress. I made a small change. Why will I put it in the user? I'll put it in the comment saying I have made this change. Or probably my team member has made another change to it. I'll add it in the comment.
Sounds. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, most welcome.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
I would, whether the client will be involved in whole process, will be involved in the team monitoring all the stages.
Yes,
or
product
will
owner. The client here is a product owner. Yes, he will be involved.
Okay, thank you.
He will be involved. Yes. Okay, fine. So guys, now I have created the sprint and I made sure my all the user stories have been completed. Okay, guys?
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. Can you just click on roadmap and backlog once again? I just want to see that. Okay, and on backlog as well. Okay, ma'am. Thanks.
Done. Okay, guys. Now it is
Ma'am,
over.
Shazia this side, could you please show once where did you add the acceptance criteria? How did you go to that screen to add the acceptance criteria?
Double click on the user story.
Okay. Thank you.
Just double click on the user story. This will open and that is where you add the acceptance criteria.
Ma'am, I have small doubt. So who will move into that to-do status 2 in progress?
The concerned state, the concerned person who's handling that user story.
Okay,
No?
okay. So the developer will move it in. It is,
Depends.
once
If it is in the testing phase, which user story is it? Depending. Whichever the person is doing it, he will move it.
Okay, fine.
So ultimately,
So
all the user stories have to reach the done status.
Compulsory. Without that, the sprint will not be completed.
Okay.
Ma'am, in the roadmap, there is any sort of coding?
Roadmap?
Like in under the road section, see the entire sprint timing. Can you show that one after we create sprint?
See, roadmap, we have created 3 user stories, no? See. This is where is the end point. See this. So automatically the roadmap will be updated.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, it's clear? Can I go forward? Any questions?
Ma'am, there is no any sort of coding, right? Because in the left side section, there is under the development is code.
That is, there is coding, but we will not be worried about that part.
Okay.
That is the backend.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Now, so guys, once I have completed this user story, now my user stories for this epic has been completed. So now what will I do? I will say complete sprint. Guys, now please understand, because we are doing it for practice purpose, we are clicking on the complete sprint. So in real organizations, let's assume your user stories were completed before the sprint time. The concerned person can manually click on complete sprint, or automatically once the time is over, the sprint will be completed anyways. Clear so far? Okay, guys, because we are doing it manually right now, I'm just selecting complete sprint. So now the sprint has been completed. So manually I am done. Now, once the sprint is completed, if notice, I'm again back to backlog, wherein I have to create a new sprint. I will create a new sprint. Again, same story. I will drag and drop the user stories from the backlog. Okay, guys. And again, I will say start sprint. Again, I will probably say sprint 2. I will just put custom probably, or else I will put 1 week to it. And I will start it. Okay, guys, I'm done. Again, I can work on all this and then I will move these user stories into the concerned areas. Clear so far, guys? Any questions, any doubts?
And one doubt, like once the sprint is being completed, it will disappear.
It is no, it will not know. It is there in the board. See, if you look at it, you will know it a little later. I'll tell you when. So I will complete the sprint. Okay, now where will I see what happened to my previous sprints? Okay, please, you will go to the reports. You can also view your sprints in the reports. Okay, so guys, to know your reports, go to project settings. Okay, here you have something called as features. Again, I'm telling you, project settings, features. you will activate reports. Okay. And then you will go back to the project. Can you see reports here? Okay.
Yes, this was only I was asking. Thank you, ma'am.
I will come to reports. Now, whatever report I want to see, I will, let's assume I want to take a burn up report. I will click here and see. You want sprint 1? This is a completed work. So your work has been completed. So if you look at it, see this. The work has been completed. And again, you also have a history underneath here. So someone asked me, Pratik, you asked me, right? So that live project you wanted me to work in Jira, because if you create a product backlog there, automatically the report is been created here, Pratik. Just have to take a picture and put it in the Word document.
Ma'am, my doubt was related the template dimension in template. As per my understanding, they have classified the product backlog into different tasks, and then the different tasks has been combined as a sprint under a single user story.
That is that under no, Pratik. First is an epic. First product backlog. Product backlog. What does product backlog have, Pratik?
Yeah, product backlog is the user stories.
What will have user stories? Where are the epics sitting?
Epic is a.
Where is epic sitting?
Is a, we may say, the group of product backlog or user stories.
I don't want to define. Where is epic? Where is epic sitting here?
I didn't get it exactly.
Guys, where is epic sitting? Guys, where is epic available?
The roadmap.
Product backlog.
Product backlog, yes.
Of course, because when user product backlog, there is only we have, right? Everything is in product backlog, right, Pratik?
Yes.
Now, in the template provided to you, what did we give you? We gave you a product backlog where you have to create user stories. So now, what are sprints, Pratik?
Sprints, a time box event where user stories or tasks can be completed.
Is not a sprint subset of a product backlog?
Yes.
Guys,
yeah.
You agree with sprint a product subset of product backlog?
Yes. Yes.
So what, Pratik, if you go back to your document, what we gave you is nothing but a template for you to break down your product backlog user stories into sprints. Now you have to put everything in the Jira and you have to identify the reports.
Okay. Got it now. Clarify.
This Jira software is basically showing the status of the user stories. It is not talking anything about the status of testing or coding.
You will testing and coding. It is this Jira is a product management tool, Major. You will only know the status of that user story. That's it. What is the progress of the user story? So this is nothing but the whole team will see, the product owner, the client, the vice president, anybody will see. So a vice president would also want to know where is the status of the project, but not what is status of the coding, right?
Okay.
Because what? Because of this only I told you, Jira is a project management tool. It is managing the project.
When we say that the particular user story is in progress or completed or done, it will automatically be assumed that the testing and coding part will be taken.
Undoubtedly,
might have been taken care of, right?
Yes, of course. Without that, the team members will not move the status.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yes. So guys, now again,
Ma'am, I have a ma'am, as we know that we have 14 days of Scrum, sprint time, right? What if their user stories are not completed within sprint timing? As you said, it once the timing is over, it will automatically.
Yes, if it is not completed, then Anand, those user stories will be again put back to the product backlog, and then they will be put into another sprints.
Okay.
no matter if your user stories are not completed in a sprint time, they have to put back, they won't be transferred to the sprint 2. They will be put into the product backlog again, looking at their priority, they will be put into different sprints, not compulsory in sprint 2.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
yes,
when
Shivram.
ma'am, we get
Shweta, 1 minute. Shweta, Shivram has raised his hand. Yes, Shivram, please ask
So
your question.
Kanban also we have for this Jira.
Yes, Kanban or Jira is also applicable for Kanban also. Yes.
So we have followed the same steps.
Similar, very, very similar.
Okay.
Minor changes are there, the way you write the user story, but very similar.
No.
Yes, Shweta, now you can ask.
Ma'am, in a particular project, when we get the project from the client, when we start using this Jira, I mean, in this, as you are mentioning that it is the time frame of 7 days or 14 days or 3 weeks, it goes right from the start, it goes for 3 months, 6 months, or for a year, or maybe a longer period. So when we start using this tool, Jira,
when you start working on the project, the day you introduce or created the project, you'll have to work on Jira, no?
and
you will
ma'am,
start.
Why do we give access of this particular tool to the client also? I mean, we should have kind of privacy of handling our
You're doing his project only, right, Shweta?
Yes, ma'am, we are doing, but still, I mean, there are certain things which.
But client is paying for all this, and definitely client must know all this.
Okay.
You can't have anything away from the client, because client has the authority to know everything here, Shweta. There is no thing that should not be told to the client, because if you're working on his project, he must be aware of it.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. And initially, ma'am, when we will start, as from the videos and from the classes, we learned that from the very initial phase, we will not get the opportunity to work as a Scrum Master or in Agile. I mean, we should have at least some kind of experience. So initially we will just from our work as a BA, we will learn all these things, and then in a later phase or of our work, we will get in these kind of projects, right?
Yes. Yes, Arpit, please ask your question.
I have a question like how BA should understand from the story point estimation value.
They will know it because you will have lot of meetings here, Arpit. Basically, what you see in Jira is nothing the end point. See, to come to this decision, there will be lot of meetings that happen in Agile teams, because Agile is known for communication only. So there would be many, before you come to what you see here, right? What you see a sprint, there would be a sprint planning meeting where the team members will sit and discuss. Okay, what should go into this sprint, what should not go into this sprint. There will be lot of meetings where everything would be communicated to us. So there is not, don't worry, we will be aware of everything what we are doing here.
And what BA means a interviewer can ask from a Jira for BA?
BA, you will know what is the user story, what is happening, the progress of the project, are the requirements intact, are the people able to pull out the answer from the requirements. So you are also part of it here.
No,
So
I am interview from a BA perspective.
BA perspective, I'm telling you, right? From BA perspective, you will work on these, you will be creating these user stories, you will be working on these user stories, you will be handling the product backlog, you will be creating, you will be communicating these reports. So all of this will be handled by a BA only. Okay, Kapil, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am, I just want to know if sprint is completed, can we reopen it?
Can you?
Reopen it?
Generally, when the sprint is completed, you'll have a sprint retrospective meeting where you will discuss what went right and what went wrong. That is where you'll understand what is good and bad about this sprint. Okay, so once it is over, there's no point of reopening it because they're all completed sprints. If at all there are bugs from that user story, probably you look at the user story, but there's no point of opening the sprint.
Says that please reopen it and rework it, then can we?
Generally, we don't do it because it is wasted of time. If you are saying that reopen it, what is the point of you doing the sprint? Generally, we will not appreciate that kind of work here.
Actually, I'm asking this question because I had an interview with a big company, and the interviewer keep asking me if I want to reopen the sprint which has been completed. Will you reopen it, or maybe you it to deny?
Generally, I will not want to reopen the sprint, but I will want to reopen a user story, but not a sprint.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Ma'am, if there is any bug tracking or something like that, will that be done as a part of this, or can we raise that as a separate issue and track it?
It will be a separate issue. The bug would be completely a separate issue.
Okay.
Because what you're you'll have a testing platform where the bugs would be saved, because this is where we will not get access to the testing platform, because what we are doing is a project management, but we will not get access to the bugs because that is testing environment. No, say it will be similar to what you see here, like a board. No, similar to what you see there. That is how the bugs will also be tracked.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you please explain what is the burn up and burn down chart? I mean,
Yes,
why
sure.
are you using the burn up report here?
Sure. Okay, fine. Okay, so guys, basically what do you mean by a burn up chart? A burn up chart is nothing but the pending user stories. So burn up talks about what all pending user stories are there. As you just mentioned, let's say some user stories are incomplete. Okay, so to note the incomplete user stories, you will put that in a burn up chart. The completed sprints or completed user stories will be pulled out in a burn down chart. So basically we have completed all the user stories, which is why I am putting it in the burn up chart. But incomplete work is burn up, completed work is burn down. Clear, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So that is how you will pull out these reports. So as simple as burn up would be incomplete, burn down would be completed. Simple. Clear this?
Yes.
Any other questions that you have for me?
What is this?
Ma'am, the
Ma'am,
tab of report is not showing on my page.
Which one?
Report tab.
Go to features and then you can activate that feature there. Please go there. Go to project features, project settings, features and reports.
Ma'am, what is this velocity report?
Velocity is okay. Velocity, basically what does that mean is a Scrum Master initially, once you are creating a sprint, okay, they have to see they have to understand what is the availability of the developers. Okay, so let's assume I have 5 developers and they're only available for 3 hours. Okay, so according to the availability of the developers, only the sprints must be scheduled. Don't you agree? Or the user stories must be scheduled. So the velocity is nothing but the calculation of that hours, developers hours that he can spend on this project. So that calculation is called as velocity. And how many developers are able to spend how much time, that is called as velocity. Yes, Kanchan.
No, ma'am, download this Jira for the practice purpose, or
I'm sorry, Kanchan, unable to understand.
for the practice purpose, can we download it?
Yes, you can. You should download. Once the session is over, Kanchan, please download Jira.
Okay.
Yes, Kapil.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Actually, once we found out there is on the sprint meeting, they found out some issue on the user story. So what would be the next step?
Issue? What issue are you talking about?
No, if we are the user story, some features we are given incorrectly to the developer.
The
So
PA, no? Again, go back to the requirement analysis. Gather the requirements again.
Okay.
User story is nothing but a requirement. Again, you will go back. You have a meeting, I told you, right? You will have a meeting where you'll discuss what went right and what went wrong. If the requirements are incompetent, definitely it is BA's role. Again, the BA will be questioned. Why were you unable to give me good requirements?
Okay.
Again, their requirements will be measured.
Okay. How do you handle the change management in Jira?
Simple. Again, if you have a change request, you'll again add those change requests to the product backlog and you will create sprints.
Okay.
You will, whatever change requests that you have, you will add it to the product backlog and you will add them to the sprints.
Okay.
Which is why it is very simple here.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, madam.
Yes, I.
In sprints, you said that we can assign to some person or we can assign it to ourselves to completion of this thing, right?
Yes.
But there I have observed one thing is automatic. So click on automatic.
Let's assume development team may have 5 developers and the Jira will automatically assign it. We are not manual assigning it. We'll assign it to development team and whoever is available will take the call.
Okay, we'll assign it to a team and whoever person wants
available, they will take it. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Raghav.
Ma'am, this is Rahul.
Rahul, just a second. Raghav actually has raised his hand. Yes, Raghav.
Ma'am, in sprint breakdown chart, like it's showing a remaining work flow chart, no? In a way.
Burn up is remaining work. Burn down is completed work.
No, in sprint burn down chart, please open it once. Like it's showing like a remaining work in a red signal. What does it indicate? Like I'm not getting
here. This is story ended. No, see, sprint has ended. Story points. We did not give any story points there.
Ma'am, it's in me. It's going in a complete line, like till to the top.
Wait. Like this, huh?
Like this, yeah, you can assume.
Which means the work is completed, no? See, you have started the work. Okay, at 12:25.
It's showing on a negligent part, like it's been done.
Completed, yes. The work has been completed.
The work is incomplete and the time goes up. Like we have selected a custom and before completion, it is done automatically. So it won't be showing like this, huh? It would be completely.
No, it won't. If at all the work is completed, then the graph will be stopped somewhere between only.
Okay, done. Yeah, that's fine.
Because story points. See here, Raghav, I have put the story points. If you pull all the story points and if you're unable to complete your story points, the graph will be somewhere at 3 because you have not the total story points. Let's assume 10. Okay. Yes. But why is it 3? Because we have only done 3 story points ka user stories only.
Yes. It
will be somewhere in the middle.
Yes. Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, Rahul.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I have been started connecting from 11 to 11:45. Due to rain, my network issue was very slow, not connected, ma'am. I came to my friend room only, I connected, ma'am. Can you share shortly again, ma'am?
Rahul, actually, I have recorded this whole session, Rahul. If not a problem, I would recommend you to recording because others would feel it is wasted because they have listened to it from day one, right? So from first hour, right? Please, my recommendation is please look at the recording. If you have any doubts, please come to dot clarification session. I can help you there.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Rahul. Thanks for understanding.
Yes.
Ma'am, I just wonder, there is this doc Confluence, no? Will you be seeing Confluence also now, or?
No, we don't have documents here in this session, which is why we don't have Confluence. But Confluence is purely for documentation purpose only, Ramya.
Okay, because in some JDs I saw Confluence.
It is only if you want to save any documents, prepare any documents, any release notes, anything, then you will put it under Confluence.
Okay.
Please explain cycle time report and deployment frequency report as well.
I never used it ever, Rohit, in my career in Agile. So this is not generally handled by us. So which is why I have not created these reports. But please, I would recommend check once what is it, but we will not do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we need to share this report to the team once we,
It is you give the login of Jira, they will only know it. No, why should you share it again separately?
Okay.
The team will have the access, no, here. The team will only get it. So you don't have to separately send it to them.
Ma'am, how come I don't have velocity report?
It is there. It is there with everybody.
I just have burn up, sprint burn down, cumulative cycle, and deployment, but
Probably
not developed.
reinstall again and check. No, why? Because it is automatic. It's there. We don't remove it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just check it.
Yes, yes. Someone asked me a question here. So they asked me, can you please repeat definition of ready and definition of done is nothing but here in definition of ready, you're just talking about the checklist which states that your user story is ready, but no, you can't deploy it to the client yet. What is that checklist? That checklist is called as definition of ready. Another checklist wherein you can submit your final user story to the client, complete user story. That checklist is called as definition of done. Okay. Yes, guys. Do you have any other questions for me? Please feel free to ask me.
Ma'am, hello.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, let's say we have two sprints in registration epic, right? And we have completed both of them. So how can we switch on the another epic? Just let's say login.
How can you switch on?
Yes, yes.
When you create a user, when you create a sprint, you'll attach it to that way. The epic to the user to the sprint only, right?
Okay.
You'll anyways connect that users that epic to the sprint. You'll not separately do it again.
No, no, I want to complete my login epic, right? So how would I create this epic in this backlog sheet?
How do you create an epic in the backlog?
Yes, sir.
See, if you look at here, you will just, can you see here on top?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So if you go here, activate the panel, create epic.
Yes. So we have completed the registration that it is showing green.
Yes.
So now I want to complete the login epic, right? So how would I complete this?
Go to board. Okay, no, go
yes.
Not you. What you do is, let's assume you have you want to have this sprint. Okay, let me create one more story. 8. Let's assume. I will say I have 3, right? I will select this and I will, okay, fine, start this. Then I will go to this user story. Then I will, can you see this add epic here?
Yes.
Add epic, add login epic.
Ma'am, sorry, can you show that add epic button alone?
Yeah, see here, add epic.
Okay.
Login.
So add epic, there should be a epic, right? Your login and registration. That was not showing there.
Here, no, I've written the board, no? Create epic, I've written it here.
So I have to add the login epic, right? So
yes,
that was not showing.
To the user story. That is what I've done, no? See this. Do you see this login, login, login? That is epics only.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome, guys. Welcome. Yeah, any other questions you have for me, guys?
Ma'am, while creating the sprint, you put the date, right? Start and end date. Like it is given to us as a deadline, or we ourselves have to put.
It's a deadline that is given by the team during the meeting. Okay. Yeah. Yes, guys.
Ma'am, one more query. Ma'am, you said that this sprint time will automatically change to completed, right? If the time has completed. So,
the sprint time, you will have to manually move it.
Yeah. If the my sprint has not completed within time and the time limit has been completed, it will automatically switch to completed sprint. So
no, even though your user stories are completed or not completed, you will have to complete the sprint no matter what. And the incomplete user stories, you must put it back to the product backlog and create a new sprint.
I have to create sprint again.
Yes,
for
of
the
course.
not completed work, right?
Yes, you have to. You have to put it in the product backlog and again a new sprint must be created.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Ma'am, can we have 2 sprints running at the same time?
Yes, you can.
We can.
You can have 2 sprints parallelly running at the same time. Yes. Definitely.
In that case, we name as sprint 1, sprint 2 like that.
Yeah, you can, no problem. Sprint 1, sprint 2, or you can rename it again. You can. Okay, guys. Any other questions for me? Madhura, please mute yourself. Yes, guys. Okay, guys, any other questions for me?
Ma'am, I have a query.
Yes, please.
Let's say the project is a ticket kind of a program that we have to design. In that case, what kind of user stories do we create, ma'am?
What is the project about?
It's like online ticket booking platform.
Yeah, as a customer, I want to register so that I can book my ticket. I want to log in so that I can make the payment I can rebook the ticket. I can cancel my ticket.
So every instance will be a different
User story. Yes. Yes. Every task will be a user story. Every small scenario would be a user story.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a question. Last question. So sorry. So I just want to know, like all the sprint, if the completed and all the there is no further product backlog, there is no further sprint backlog.
If there is no product backlog, Kapil, the project is completed. If the project, you cannot have a scenario where there is no product backlog, where you have a completed product backlog, Kapil, which means the project is completed.
So can we say like G or maybe the sprint process is is always there in during the project day 1 to day end?
Yes, product backlog, you will have to deliver it to the client last day, saying that this is what we have completed.
Okay. Okay.
It is the way you submit your RTM, right? Same way you will do it here. So product backlog will not close.
If there is no further product backlog, then
when your
project
completed. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And the responsibility of writing down a user story is always on the BA only.
No, writing down the user story can be anybody in the team. That is what I'm saying. Anybody can write a user story.
Anybody means people
Developer,
like
tester, product owner, scrum master, BA. Anybody can write a user story.
Okay, and if by chance say something means what the way it has been interpreted or the way it has been written down is any particular user story, then that will affect the entire project.
Yes, because if there is no consistency in the user story, there would be definitely a question that will be raised, why are we writing it? Because there should be one consistency in the user stories.
And do we have any method of tracking down the mistake that has been occurred in writing down a user story?
There would not be a mistake, but definitely there would be a way where you can the comment, right? If your user story is wrong, people will comment saying it's a bad user story or not able to understand your user story. They'll definitely comment there for every user story.
Oh, okay, that way some comes that we can correct it there then and there only.
Generally, we should not write wrong user stories because that would be very big. It's like, basic thing also, if you don't know, then you're not fit to be that the concerned stakeholder there.
Okay.
So that's how it is.
Actually, we was talking from the beginners or from fresher BA's point of view. So it might be possible that
they will teach you because we'll have trainings. Please understand that you will have lots and lots of meetings in Agile. What you see is the end product, but before what you see on the screen, there will be a lot of meetings that would have occurred to come to this decision today.
Okay.
So directly you won't start day one, so you won't write user stories. There will be a lot of discussion that will happen. After that only you will create this.
Okay, and ma'am, this particular Jira that you are explaining is the trial version or a purchase version that you are explaining?
This is same, no trial version. This is the basic version only because there would be no trial version as such again.
In the companies, no? Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, where can we get this recorded video?
They will put it in the library section, Vaishnavi.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, within how many days we will get this video, ma'am?
We should be able to get it ASAP. I'm assuming the team should be uploading it right tomorrow only.
By tomorrow.
I think so. I'm sure,
Okay.
100% sure.
Okay, okay.
Ma'am, do you have any live project session, Lakani session?
You will have a live project for sure, because that is where you will do all this yourself in from your domain.
Okay.
You will have a live project, but not right now, but definitely you will have.
No, I'm already assigned some new capstone project on my
After
dashboard.
capstone, you will have a live project.
I want to refer some recording session which was done in the previous. Anything else in this live project session do you have in COP?
No, we don't. Live project is very independent, very individual oriented, Anand Kumar, because live project is nothing but I pull out from the concerned domain. Okay, so we don't have a model live project with us.
Okay, because I'm started working on the capstone project, but I have some.
So
I'm
you
stuck
need
to
finish it.
then yes, I'm stuck to finish that capstone project.
Please finish
So
it, and then you can get into live projects. Yes.
So is there questions for that capstone one? Even
We have
they
a video there, no? We do have a video, a reference video that will help you answer the questions.
Okay.
In the library section, we have.
Okay.
We do have.
And in which format we have to write those answers, those
Word.
project answers in Word formats?
Word form. Word.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Ma'am, if we have completed the sprint and we want some modification in the user story, so can't we reopen the sprint, completed sprint?
Welcome, Shweta. I'm sorry. Can you please repeat your question again?
Ma'am, if we have completed the sprint and we want some modification in the user story, right? So can't we reopen the sprint, completed sprint?
We can see what I'm saying is we do can. Is it Bhaskara is asking me the question? Sorry, who?
Hello.
May I know your name, please?
Santosh.
Santosh, basically what happens, Santosh, when you are creating a user sprint, Santosh, this sprint will be created after a lot of discussion. Okay, Santosh, right? If you are reopening a sprint, which means we have not done our job well.
Okay.
That would be more like an insult to us. Don't you agree? Incapability.
Yes.
So my recommendation is not a good idea to reopen the sprint. If you're reopening, which means you have created one big error.
Let's say worst case, ma'am. Worst case.
You have to, yeah. If you will have to, Santosh. If you feel that some user stories are not done properly, please reopen. No problem. There is nobody's going to stop you here for sure.
Oh.
You can reopen. Okay. Okay, right. So if you have no other question, yeah, go ahead.
Ma'am, final question.
Yes.
Where do we can download this all the storage data and to track?
Don't download the stories. You have to use a Jira tool only. Why would you want to download?
Suppose I want to have a data in the Excel format.
Generally, you will view it in the report. If you go to reports, you see this history here. See this. Let's assume. Do you see this history?
Yeah.
This is where you can view everything.
Because you just story you just story by the status at what time it was changed and everything. We can have it in one place because it shows only the status and just story list.
So that is what we read about, right? Why would you want to download it? Because everybody has access to your Jira in Scrum team. So there's no point of downloading it. But if you want to download, I think you should be option to download it. But I haven't downloaded it in my career for now. So, so we don't really download reports.
Can we save the this report to show in some PPT?
I'm sorry, can you save?
Can we save the reports? Save the chart?
You
to show some PPT?
You want to how to read? Just a minute. Can I read this report? Reports. One minute. Let me see. Probably to show the report, you can just open the Jira and you can show, or else if you want to again show the report, you might have to take a screenshot and put it in the PPT, like an image.
There is no other option.
No other option.
Okay.
Yes, guys, others, if you have no other questions, I'm sorry, you can actually log out. I see others, people who does not have any questions, please feel free to log out, guys. I have nothing else to
Okay, ma'am.
mention
Yeah.
here. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great Sunday.
Ma'am, so I have one
Thank you,
last
ma'am.
question.
Most welcome, guys.
Ma'am, I need the recording sessions of Venkat sir theory classes. How can I get?
Please raise a service request, Bhaskara.
No, I have raised it, but I got response is I was assigned some slot where I need to select the time, and also
Yes.
I'm asked to upload the document. Which document can I upload?
Document. They ask you to upload a document for your YouTube access.
Yes, I don't know why they are asking me, because I tried to fill that slot. It is option says to upload
choose.
documents.
Oh, the slot says okay. Then you upload a dummy document. No, if it
Dummy
says upload document, just choose a dummy document, because that is
No.
system that is asking you.
No, I have checked in YouTube also. There is already a channel is there, but I don't find the Venkat sir classes which were conducted
That's
for our
because you
batch.
have to raise a request. That is what I'm saying, right? You need to raise a request. Only
Okay.
then they will be able to assign it to you.
So the dummy document, anything blank Word document.
Any
right?
blank Word document, yes.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, I missed one tool sessions which was conducted in our batch. That also can I get there?
All the tool session is available in the library section for you.
No, not these tool sections. In the theory classes, the one tool session was conducted for some tracking. I don't remember the thing.
Not sure what you're talking about, but you can view all the tools in the library section.
Okay. Okay, then I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, welcome.
Hi, I think someone has asked about saving the document, right? So this, and when I go to the report and I clicked on the burn up and the burn down chart, there I got there on clicking on right click, I got to see the save as option. So so that's how we can save it, either in the JPG or PNG.
Okay, Rohit. Yes, since people left, I believe.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, in what is the passing marks?
95.
In the 26 exams?
To 90.
90, okay.
Ma'am, when I'm trying to use Jira, I need to click on the
You have to click on
team managed project, na?
Yes.
So, ma'am, when at na, and I'm, let's say, putting up a ticket booking kind of a name to it, create project, saying that you will have to have administer, I mean, to upgrade the plan to get the administer project access and all
No,
that.
get it free. Need to pull out, get it free.
Okay.
Probably once the session is uploaded, you can view the recording. It will be easy to understand. Yeah, Arpit.
What is the difference between team manage and company manage in these two?
If the company does not have Jira, but the team is using Jira, which means team manage is only a team is using Jira, not the company. Okay, if company is using Jira, then you'll take company manage and you have to pay for it. If it is team manage, it is free. Okay.
I have a doubt, but regarding this session, can I go ahead?
Yeah, Anand, is it related to this session, Anand?
No.
Yeah, go ahead and ask me.
It is a small doubt. See, SDLC are of sequential, iterative, evolutionary, and agile. Okay, but what is V model then?
V model is a part of it, no? V model is a model. No, it comes in a sequential, just like waterfall.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, guys, then if you have no other questions related to Jira, let's log out and then we will
What is
connect.
the difference between Scrum and Kanban?
It's a framework, Arpit. Kanban is one framework, Scrum is one framework, different method frameworks to do their project.
Kanban is not much used.
Not used much.
Showing it is recommended, so I am asking.
Yeah, it is only not much used. Scrum is used widely in organizations currently. Guys, if you have no other questions, should we all log out and then we will connect for another session, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, take care. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you, ma'am.